All right. Hello, Move Easy Movers. Welcome to Move Easy Yoga with Kathy. Today is Saturday, July 8th already. Wow, 2023, or whatever day you're watching this video on YouTube. So today, for props, you're going to need your trusty chair, a block or something to put between your knees when you're doing windshield wipers. Some of us are using sponge balls, which is a very good idea if you have one. You can use a thick pillow or a block or a thick book that's light. I think a hardback book might be too hard, too heavy, and a strap. Our focus is going to be on hips, legs, and some core work. So we're going to start the way we normally do, with legs up on a chair for our 7-minute static rest. So we're putting our lower back in traction in this position. So you want to make sure that your lower legs are parallel to the floor and the ceiling. They don't want to be up or down if possible. If you have longer legs than I do, mine are really short, you may need to put a pillow or something on top of the seat of your chair or couch. Your hips are a few inches away from the bottom of the chair. Your back has its normal curve. Even though it may be close to the floor, you'll still have the normal curve because the hips are in neutral. Your arms are wherever they're most comfortable. Your eyes can be open or closed. We're just going to be here for 7 minutes. As soon as I get my timer started. Here we go. And breathe normally. Just bring yourself, your awareness into your yoga space. Okay, 7 minutes are up. Stay where you are. Excuse me. If you choose, you can roll your tongue under the roof of your mouth. That stretches and works your chin, your lower chin. And slowly move your head from right to left about 5 or 6 times. And make sure you do this slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just loosening up our neck. 6. Okay. Oh, excuse me. A lot of things today are going to bring yawns, I'm afraid. Okay, and the next thing we do is the vagus nerve reset. Now, if you're not familiar with this, the vagus nerve runs down both sides of your skull and actually goes down both sides of your body. But what we're trying to do is activate that by moving our eyes. So your head is, excuse me, directly forward, and your eyes just move to the right, like you're looking at something at your peripheral vision. And when you do that, it will activate your vagus nerve, and you'll get either a sigh, a swallow, a yawn, or a gulp. Your eyes again can be open or closed. And what we're trying to do is reset that vagus nerve. It's a way of relaxing the body, the nervous system of the body. So head straight ahead, eyes to the right. Wait for that sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. If you've been doing it for a while, it comes right away. If you haven't done it or you're new to it, it may take some practice. And then once you've had that reaction, you look straight ahead again. And then you move your eyes only to the left and wait for that sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Now, everybody is different in this particular movement. So I want you to do this 2 more times on each side, and I'll give you a couple of minutes. Oh. My eyes always water during this. Oh, and my glasses fog up. Okay, go ahead and finish up. The next thing we're going to do is head ramping. Now you can leave your stack of washcloths or towels under your head for your head support if you choose. You can put a set of therapy balls behind your head. I like to do a sponge ball. It gives me more give. Now what we're doing here is we are reversing what we call text neck. We're always, at least I am, always looking down at my devices, my iPad, my phone, my computer. And all this looking down means our neck is in this looking down position way too much. So we're trying to stretch the occipital ridge, is that bony part between your ears that runs along your scalp line. We're trying to stretch that out and reverse that looking down motion. So that occipital ridge, we are pressing away from our body. Now you can do this sitting up or lying down, whichever is most comfortable for you. But what we're trying to do is press that bony part, the occipital ridge, away from the rest of the body. If you're on the ground, it's to the floor. If you're sitting up, of course, it's to the back wall. So press, hold. I particularly like this because I can feel it. And release. We're going to do this 4 more times. Press, hold, and release. You also, may yawn. It may react like the vagus nerve reset does. Press, hold, and release. And last one. Press, hold, and release. I try to do this every day because, yeah, I'm always looking down. And it's not good for your neck. So, okay. So the third thing we're doing in this triplet is breathing. And we're going to do extended exhale breathing today. Now, extended exhale breathing is very simple. You take a normal inhale and count while you're inhaling. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on your exhale, you want to exhale longer than your inhale, preferably at least twice as long. Now, when you're exhaling, at least for me, it helps if I purse my lips like you're going to kiss something. And I can extend to my exhale longer that way, but whatever works for you. So just for example, inhale 2, 3, 4, and then exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now everybody is different. We're going to do it a couple of times together, and then I'll let you do it at your own pace. So inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. Exhale. Now, you may not be able to exhale twice as long, and that's fine. It may take some practice. So just do the best you can and just count your inhale and just try to extend your exhale. So take a couple of minutes on your own time and do that. in case you haven't noticed, these breathing exercises are another way of relaxing the body and preparing yourself for movement. So go ahead and finish up. Now, this next thing you can do with your legs on the chair if you choose, or without the chair with your legs extended. I prefer lying flat with my legs extended. It's up to you. We're going to do the vacuum. So the vacuum is an exercise for strengthening the pelvic floor. So you just take a normal inhale. Don't even count it, just a normal inhale, and then an extended exhale. You want to get all the air out of your lungs. And while you're doing that, you want to press your back flat against the floor, press your belly button towards the floor, and create a vacuum. And then we hold our breath out with no air in our lungs. Hold our breath out for the count of 10. And then let it go. So a normal inhale. And then an exhale that releases everything out of your lungs. Press your back to the floor. Push your belly button towards the floor. 1, and hold it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale. Give yourself a minute to get your breath back to normal. A couple of breaths should do it. Now we're going to do this 3 more times. A normal inhale. And then exhale everything out of your lungs. Press your back to the floor. Press your belly button down. Hold your breath out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale. Give yourself a chance for your breath to get back to normal. So take a normal inhale. Exhale everything out of your lungs. Press your back against the floor. Push your belly button down. Hold your breath out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale and exhale. Let your breath get back to normal. We'll do it one last time. Take a normal inhale. Exhale everything out of your lungs. Empty your lungs. Hold the air out. Push your back towards the floor. Put your belly button down. Hold everything out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Good job, guys. Okay. So while we're down here, before we sit up to do our stretches, I like to do a little bit of more loosening up. So go ahead and bend your knees and put your feet maybe hip width apart. And let's do some just warming up windshield wipers. Just slowly back and forth. We're not going all the way down. Just sacrum edge to sacrum edge, maybe. When you feel your left hip, when you're going to the right and you feel your left hip stop to rise, stop there and come the other way. So we're just kind of warming up here. Back and forth. This is really good for the hips, helps loosen them up. Okay. Now, I want you to put something between your legs, or between your knees, actually. It can be a block if you choose. It can be a block. If you have trouble with a block, it can be a sponge ball, which is actually a little softer. You can use a thick, firm pillow, or if you have several folded towels, that would work too. Just the idea is to be pressing your knees together and getting a little bit more action in your legs. And we're going to go back and forth. We're actually going to do this for 40 seconds. Back and forth again, not going all the way down, maybe a little further than before. But the fact that we're pressing in with our legs makes a difference here. It works our adductors, I believe. I could be wrong. Adductors and abductors. Okay. So there we go. Now for the third part, I want you to put your legs probably mat width apart if you're on a mat, or a little further away than your hips on either side. And we're going to go actually further with our legs this time. Maybe still not even down to the floor, but just a little further with our legs. So another 40 seconds here. Still moving slowly. If you want to come all the way down to the floor, you can, but no strain, no pain. Still, we're warming up. Keep both shoulders on the floor. You may feel one hip rise a little bit as you go side to side. That's okay. All righty. Boy, that 40 seconds goes by fast. Okay. So let's come up to a sitting position. Take your time. We're going to do our regular side bend and rotation stretches that we do. So we're going to start with our side bend lat stretch. So slide your hand along the mat. The other arm comes up and over. You want to aim your elbow towards the ceiling. It won't go directly up, but just kind of, you want to bring your upper arm as far back as you can comfortably. Now that upper arm comes down till it's parallel to the floor, and reach for that side wall. Should feel a different stretch. I like these stretches. They kind of wake up my body. Okay, arm up, torso up. Other side. So hand along the mat. Other arm comes up and over. I feel my stretch right along just the side body. Just be aware of where you're feeling it. There's no right or wrong. Now lower that upper arm till it's parallel to the floor and reach for that corner. Now I feel it under my arm and down my back. the latissimus dorsi. It's another good stretch. All right. Good job. All right, I found a hair. Okay, and now we're going to do our rotation. So let's just switch our legs just for the heck of it. So put your hand on your opposite knee. Your other arm is behind you with spider fingers. If you have short arms like I do, it's better for support. So it's behind you for support, and you're just rotating. You're bringing your thoracic spine, your upper spine to the right as far as you can. We're going to hold this position for 40 seconds. So face to the right, and you have options here. You can move your head back and forth. If you want to stretch your neck a little bit more, you can move your rib cage back and forth. Or you can just enjoy this stretch. Feel what is happening in your body. Where do you feel this? And how does it feel to you? Come on around. And we'll do the other side. And on left knee, other arm is behind you. Rotate your spine, look to the left. Remember your options. Or just focus on where you're feeling this. Okay, come on around. Boy, those 40 seconds goes by fast. Let's switch our legs again. We never want to stay in the same position longer than we have to. The next thing we're going to do is torso circles. So it's just what it says. You're just going around in a circle. You can make this circle as big or as small as you choose. You want to keep your back straight, though, when you're doing this. We're not hunching. So we're going to go one direction for 40 seconds and then the other. So, and we're moving slowly so our brain can register what our body is doing. I like this one because it really loosens up the hips. Just remember to keep a flat back and move slowly. And I say that, and let's switch direction. I say that to remind myself because I have a tendency to speed up my movements if I'm not paying attention. Okay. All right, good job. Now we're going to do the leg stretch, the 3 positions of the leg stretch. So if you've never done this before, you want to find a wall if you can to put your foot against. I have this little strip of wall right here. You don't have to. And if you're new to this, you might not want to. but it does make it more effective, but it's not absolutely essential. And I will demonstrate it before we do it for those of you who are not familiar. But I need to adjust my mat so I can actually reach the wall. So we're going to start with our left. I'm going to start with my left foot against the wall. It's called a closed end leg stretch. Again, you don't have to have your foot against the wall if you don't want to. And with the strap, you hook it on your leg that is not on the wall. Now your toes are pointed towards the ceiling. The other leg is in the air. Your elbows are on the ground. Your shoulders are relaxed. You're not straining here. And your leg can either be straight or it can be slightly bent. And
Kathy,
yeah.
I'd like to interrupt you and say the toes are dorsiflexed or pointing towards your face rather than the ceiling. They're not plantar flexed.
Oh, really? Okay, well, I always point them towards the ceiling.
Oh, are you talking, which foot are you talking about?
The one on the
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was talking about the toes on the upper foot.
Yeah, this foot, you're right. The toes are pointed towards you. Yeah, I didn't mention that. You're right. Thank you, Via. Yeah, this foot, you want to point the toes towards you as much as possible. And I was focused more on how you hold this strap. Shoulders are relaxed, elbows are on the floor. You're gently pulling on this strap. We're going to hold this. This actually stretches the hamstring, the back of the thigh. So we're going to hold this position for 40 seconds, just like this. Again, your leg can be straight. It can be slightly bent, whatever's most comfortable for you. And the foot on the wall is firmly against the wall, like you're standing on the wall. And this foot, yes, is dorsiflect. It's bent. Toes are pointed towards your head. Okay, now that we've got that settled, so we're just going to hold this position for 40 seconds. I really like this one because my hamstrings get so tight. Now you don't want to be pulling too hard or tugging too hard or straining, but you just want a gentle pressure. And yeah, the more you dorsiflex your foot, the more stretch you'll feel in the back of your thigh. Okay. That was 40 seconds. Now leg stretch number 2, you take the strap in your right hand, foot is still on the wall, this foot goes off to the right. Now everybody's different. Some people can go this far, some people can go this far. Just go as far as what feels comfortable to you. Again, you're not really pulling hard, but we're trying to stretch, and the foot is still dorsiflexed. We're trying to stretch the leg as far as we can. You can rest it on something. You can put something here to rest it on if that feels better to you, like your chair or pillow or brick. And we hold this position for 40 seconds as well. So 40 seconds. So just to the right, gently holding the strap and coming down as far as possible. And everybody's different here. You want to keep your left hip on the ground. So if it starts to rise, stop lowering your foot because that's what's making it rise. So that left hip stays on the ground. And again, just be aware of where you're feeling this stretch. I feel it in my inner thigh. Okay. That was number 2. Now leg stretch number 3, you switch the straps to your left hand. Now the foot on the wall is going to rotate and your hips are going to shift. So I go ahead and shift them. So now you've got, if you'll notice, the side of the foot is on the floor and the toes are pointing to the left. The hip's gone up and this leg goes over to the left, and notice the hip comes up. Now, with your upper back, you can do a number of things. You can go with it, or you can keep both shoulders on the ground and do a twist. It's whatever works for you. This is probably the easier one. And again, if you need support or you need to put your foot on something, just have something there handy. I've got my foot on my sponge ball right now. But if you can pull it back down to the floor, that's good too. So let's go ahead and start the timer on this one. So all the way over. So your bottom leg is straight. Your top leg can be a little bit bent. Again, you can have both shoulders on the floor, or you can move your arm the same direction as your leg. And you can also rest it on something if you choose. And there we go. Now we're going to do the same thing with the left leg. So it's easiest for me to do this in midair. And I find I've scooted away from the floor or away from the wall. So we're going to go leg stretch number 1. Again, now your right foot is on the wall, toes pointed towards the ceiling. Your left foot is in the air, toes pointed towards your head. Your foot is dorsiflex, which means it's angled with your toes towards your head. And you're going to rest your elbows on the floor and pull the strap back gently. It's one of the best hamstring stretches I know. 40 seconds. Okay. Now, for leg stretch number 2, the strap is in your left. Both straps are in your left hand. Your foot is still on the wall. This foot is the foot in the air is still dorsiflexed, and you're going to move it off to your left. Just as far as you can. If you only move it that far, there's nothing wrong with that. Just no pain, no strain. Just as far as you can. Rest it on something if you have to. This is also a very good stretch. Okay, come on up. Stop. Okay. All right. Now for leg stretch number 3, the straps come back to the right hand. And we're going to rotate. So we're going to rotate. I start by rotating my foot and shifting my hips. So the left hip comes up. The foot's going to come all the way to the right. And again, you have your choice of your upper arm either going with your leg or rotating. Going with the leg is the easiest, and it's the best way to warm up to this. Sorry, that was in my way. So. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. So over to the right. And just go as far as you can. Again, no pain, no strain. Make sure your foot is still on the wall. That includes your heel. I have to shift a little bit to do that. Your shoulders are going to be stacked. Your hips are going to be stacked. If your upper arm is towards your foot. Otherwise, your shoulders are both on the floor and the arm is behind you. And there we go. All right. So yeah, that's an excellent leg stretch. It works, in my mind, most of the muscles of the leg. So now we're going to stand up against the wall and do our back bends. We haven't done those in a while. Let me just readjust my mat here. And I'm going to move my computer so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to do a back bend against the wall. So we stand with our back against the wall, maybe a few inches away, maybe 3 or 4 inches away. Our arms will come up, both of them, and behind us, and palms on the wall. Now, if you'll notice, my chest is extended, my hips are back. We're going to be holding this position for 40 seconds. If you have shoulder issues, your arms are going to be further apart, and that's fine. But try to keep your elbows as close to your head as possible. That's where you get the stretch. So here we go. Arms up and back. This is a great back stretch. Okay, come on down. All right, now we're going to do a thoracic twist standing up. So we'll start on the right side. So your right side is against the wall. Right foot forward, left foot back, just a comfortable distance apart. Keep your elbows at your waist. I call this the hold up position. So palms forward and just forward. And then you just rotate and put your hand. And this is another rotation for your spine, which is nice. So we're going to hold this position for 40 seconds this way, and then we'll do it the other way. So elbows at your waist, palms up, rotate, palms on the wall. Do you feel like a pretzel? Yes. But this is a very gentle way to rotate. It's similar to what we did on the floor, just a different way of doing it. We haven't done these in a while. I kind of miss them. Okay. And let's do the other side. So I'm going to face the other direction and left foot forward, right foot back, elbows at my waist, setting my timer, and rotating and putting my palms on the wall. 40 seconds. Now you may wonder why I always do things for 40 seconds. Well, Via says, and I go by her wisdom, that 40 seconds is enough time it takes for your body to register what you're doing. And it does the most benefit, like a bone building. I think I'm right on that, Via. You have to hold it to have it be a bone building move. And 40 seconds, you could hold it longer, but 40 seconds is just a good solid time. There you go. Okay. Now, before we need to move this. Before we go to the mat again, we're going to do one more thing. It's called a wall sit. Your back is against the wall and you come down as far as you choose. You can come down as far as you want. We're going to do this for 30 seconds. Not very long. So just come down as far as you can. Stay as long as you can. If you can't make it 30 seconds, that's okay. Be something to work up to. Five seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Good job. You made it. Okay. So I'm going to. Okay, Kimberly was who left us. I wondered. She left a chat. Okay. All righty. So back to the mat. And we're running out of time, of course. So we're going to be supine and just do some quick core work before we go to Yoga Nidra. So we're going to do some leg lifts. I know how y'all love these. So extend both legs. And we're going to bring them up and then out and hover. Now, if you have trouble with this or it's too difficult for you, you can always do one leg at a time. You can just raise your leg. You can hover up here, or you can just extend your legs and hover. So whatever works for you. We're just going to do this 5 times. And then we'll go to Yoga Nidra. So legs bent and hover. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Good job, guys. Okay, get ready for Yoga Nidra. Make sure that you are comfortable and either warm or cool enough, as the case may be. You might want to put something over your eyes. This guided meditation works deeply on your nervous system to balance your energies and increase your mental harmony. I will guide you to move your attention through internal points as I mention them. Allow your awareness to flow to these points without moving any part of your body. Begin with your breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Observe your abdomen as it rises and falls with the gentle flow of your breath. Now bring your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, the center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This concludes the 61-point guided meditation. Begin to wiggle and stretch. Stretch your legs out if they're bent. Stretch your arms above your head. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles. First one way, then the other. Now take your right knee and hold it to your chest. Say, thank you, knee. I'm grateful for you. Straighten that leg out. Take your left knee and hold it to your chest. Thank you, knee, for holding me up. Straighten that leg out. Now both knees come up and hold them to your chest. And rock slowly, right and left. Feel that massage on your back, your internal organs. Feels good. And when you're ready, roll towards the camera using your lower arm as a pillow. We're going to take our gratitude moment here and just be grateful in general. You know, I'm just grateful that I can move with you guys. I know so many people my age and even younger that have mobility issues, whether they're temporary or not. And I'm just grateful that I'm able to move and that you are too. when you're ready, come on up to a sitting position so we can end the class with namaste. Let me remove my spotlight. And unmute yourself. I guess, oh, Kimberly. Yeah, Kimberly had to leave to go to work. So she had to leave us. Hands to your heart. And Via, I can never remember how you say this. Tilt your skull on your.
I say roll, lift your occipital ridge away from your shoulders so that the skull can roll forward.
Yeah, there you go. I can never remember how you say that. Right. So we can bow. And I just want to say thank you for coming today and helping me move. I had a kind of a difficult week, and this always helps. So let's end the class by saying to each other, namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everybody. See you next time.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
See you
Bye-bye.
next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.